Hello students, welcome to the final story time. If you're like my kids right now, they are scrambling and fighting for that letter grade. As well-intentioned as I feel like some of the teachers are, I feel like they don't fully comprehend the toll that this is weighing on our students and their families. I'm grateful to work for Alpine School District that has a good handle on the emotional well-being of our students and their families with the no harm approach. It's this emotional well-being that actually brings us to the story time today. But before I start the story time, I would like to say how much I've enjoyed having you in my class this year. And I feel like this story time, more than other years, might have a little bit more meaning than it otherwise would with the whole coronavirus happenings. Inevitably in life, you are going to have highs, you're going to have lows. You're going to have ups, you're going to have downs. Hopefully, the ups outnumber the downs. It's during these hard times in life, though, that define us and turn us into the people that we will inevitably become. This story time is one that teaches you, hopefully, a coping mechanism that I've used during hard times in life. I hope you enjoy. Way back in Once Upon a Time, as all good stories should start, I grew up as a young little lad with a commercial that I was fascinated with. Now, this commercial portrayed a treat. And if you partook of this treat, it could magically take you away to anywhere that you wanted to be in the world. Whether you are on top of the Alps with a cool breeze brushing across your face, or on a warm sandy beach, listening to the ocean waves crash in. Wherever you wanted to be, this treat could take you there. Yes, I'm referring to the magic of a York peppermint patty. Yes, this is a wonderful treat. Oh, it smells so good. Now you know that I am a book sniffer, a grass sniffer, and a York peppermint patty sniffer. Anyway, I would like to teach you how to release the magic of a York peppermint patty. Now, there is a method to be had here. You don't just open a York and shove it in your mouth as much as you would probably like to. No, I have to show you the proper way to release the magic of a York peppermint patty. Now, before I do this, I need to go to my happy place. I am going to release the magic and actually take myself to my happy place. And I would like to share that experience with you. Now, it needs to be absolutely quiet for the magic to take place. Now, when students are in my classroom, sometimes this can be a little bit challenging, but it is completely quiet here today. Now, at home, please make sure that you are quiet. Perhaps you will hear some of the sounds, the beautiful sounds of a York peppermint patty. The first thing that you do is you take the York peppermint patty ever so delicately into your hands like such, and you give it a little shaky shake. That is a beautiful sound. Now this releases that delicate chocolate from the wrapper and begins that magic. The next thing that you're going to do is you're going to put the York peppermint patty directly under your nostrils as such. Now, as you tear open the package of the York, you want to breathe deeply in through the nostrils, soaking up all the goodness that it has to offer. I will demonstrate. Ah. Yeah, that's so good. Now, at this point, you are tempted to shove the York peppermint patty into your mouth, but that would be an egregious mistake. Now, the next thing that you need to do is you need to take the York peppermint patty and put it directly next to your ear, like this. Okay? Now, I know I'm getting a little close to the camera. I just want to make sure that you're getting the full effect of this. And perhaps if you're quiet enough, you can hear the sweet sound of a York as it breaks open. So the next thing that you want to do, this is very important, you need to close your eyes and think of that place, a place that is yours and yours alone. Now, this can be a place that you already are familiar with, or it can be a place that you aspire to go to. Wherever that place is, you close your eyes and you think of that, and you put the York right next to your ear, like this, and you think of that place, and you break open the York. Oh, so nice. Oh, mmm. 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 Well. Mmm. Oh, I'm almost there. Oh, there it is. It's as beautiful as ever. Way back and once upon a time as all good stories should start, I grew up in a magical land called New Jersey. Oh, it was beautiful with rolling hills, green pastures, and a luscious garden. Oh, it was beautiful. Now, down the driveway and up the dirt road, about a quarter of a mile, in amongst some trees, rested a quaint little pond. No bigger than the lab and my classroom combined. It was a quaint little place. Now, going out towards the center of the pond was a dock. This was my happy place. Oh, so many fond memories were to be had at the dock and the pond. Now, I'm not necessarily proud of everything that I did as a wee little lad, but being the cute little innocent boy that I was, and not knowing any better, I would go and fish underneath the dock for the cute little sunfish that were underneath it. And I would catch one of those cute little sunfish and I would reel it in with excitement. And I would take my fishing pole and I would swing it wildly until the fish flew off into oblivion. Oh, it was great. Oh my goodness. It was so much fun. And I would take my fishing pole and I would go and catch another cute little sunfish underneath the dock. And I would reel it in with excitement. And then I would take a firecracker and put it in its mouth and boom! Oh, it was great. Oh, so much fun was to be had. So much fun was to be had at the dock. Oh, yes. Now, every once in a while, you would see it. Oh, and it would make your blood run cold. I'm referring to the only big fish in the pond. We lovingly referred to it as the shark. Yes, every once in a while we would see the shark. Oh, it was exciting. Now, in order for you to really understand to get the full magnitude of the story which I'm about to share with you, I have to give you some slight family background. I'll make it quick. From oldest to youngest is a 20-year difference. I was second to youngest. Now, for years, the older siblings in the family would try to catch the shark, but the shark was an uncatchable fish. No one could catch it. That's right. They would try. Now, many moons would pass by, and the older siblings grew up and moved on, and the younger siblings came up into the ranks, and it was our turn to try to catch the shark. Oh, one day, I remember it like it was yesterday. Oh my goodness. My brother, just older than I was fishing next to the dock. I was on the right side of the pond where a tree had fallen over, and sometimes the shark liked to go underneath the branches of the tree. My sister was on the left side where the stream entered into the pond. And all of a sudden, I hear my brother scream in excitement, "I've got it! I've got the shark!" And he was reeling and pulling and pulling and reeling. And he was going for it. I could tell he had something big because that pole was dipping. Woo! It was going crazy. And I was running this way. My sister was running this way in excitement. And he was bringing the shark in with excitement. And he was pulling that shark onto the shore. And all of a sudden, the line snapped. And I noticed my brother jumped into the pond and grabbed the shark because he knew that all glory would be upon him forever and always if he was the one to catch the uncatchable fish. But alas, the shark slipped from the grasp of his hands and swam away. Oh, my brother, he was mad and wet. It was great. Oh my goodness, that was such a great day. Oh, well, so much good times were to be had at the pond, yes. Well, the years went on, and we could not catch that shark as much as we tried. Well, a sad day was about to happen in our lives. We were going to move away from our magical land in New Jersey and go to a faraway, desolate land called Arizona, which actually does have its beauty. It just took me a long time to find it. So anyway, it was moving day. It was the end of my 8th grade year. Not an easy time for a little child to move to a new land. The end of my 8th grade year, my parents come to me. It was moving day. I woke up that day, sadder than most days, and I went to my parents and said, "I'd like to have one more time at the pond." And my parents, realizing how sad I was to leave this place, agreed that I should go up to the pond. I walked a little bit slower to the pond that day. Now, the story in which I'm about to share with you is 100% true. I walked out onto the dock, knowing that this would be my last time here at the pond. Tears rolling down my face. I walk out to the edge of the dock and I look up, and about 20 feet away from me, I saw a dark shadow moving ever so slowly across the top of the water. And my spirits were lifted. It was the shark. I had one last chance to get this shark. Now, I knew that the shark never went for anything that I threw at it. It never did. So I quickly got in my tackle box and rigged up the largest hook I could find with a sinker just up from it. And I went out towards the edge of the dock and calculated, and ever so delicately casted my line so it rested above the dark shadow in the middle of the pond. And at the right moment, I pulled back on the line and I had snagged the shark. I had it. And I was reeling with excitement. But it was weird. It was almost like the shark was coming to me. I don't know if someone knew at that point in my life I needed this, or whether that fish was so darn old, I was just reeling in dead weight. Whatever it was, I didn't care. I had the shark and I was reeling it in. It was great. I set the pole down and I reached down and grabbed the shark. Now, this is a true story. So it was about this big, which for a small pond like that is a pretty darn big fish. And so I grabbed the shark into my hands. And I had a fleeting thought. The thought was, perhaps I should put the shark back into the water. But that thought quickly left. As I grabbed the shark, I ran the 1/4 mile home, and I was screaming my head off, "I've got it! I've got the shark!" And my family ran out in all the excitement, wondering, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" "I've got the shark! I've got it! I've caught it!" And all glory was upon my family came and witnessed this great event. Oh, it was so great. Well, my parents said, this is a momentous occasion. So before we go to our faraway land, we need to stop by the taxidermy and be on our way. So we did. We stopped by a taxidermy and we moved to our faraway land of Arizona. And it was hard. It was very hard. Being the young, shy boy that I was back in the day, was not easy for me to make new friends. And it was difficult. But 3 months later, I received a package in the mail that boosted my spirits. It was the shark. And it was beautiful. Picture this. Some of you know what I'm going to be talking. The fin was flared up with the mouth wide open and the gills flared like it was going in for the kill. Oh, it was a beautiful fish. It was beautiful. Now, in Arizona, I found great joy taking walks and runs in the desert. One day in particular, I was trotting along, running through the desert, and I think this might have been the first time that trees started speaking to me. Yes, I was running along, and all of a sudden I saw this dead juniper tree. We call them jumping cactus. And they have lots of little holes on it. And this one had fallen over and it was dead and it was just had the holes in it. And the tree spoke to me and said, I would make a lovely mount for your fish. It had a branch going this way and a branch going this way. And it said that fish would look beautiful right there in betwixt them. And so I snatched that juniper tree and I took it home and I sprayed out all the bugs and scorpions out of it. And I polished it up really nice. And I mounted that fish to that tree and I went into my bedroom and I hung it on the head, above the headboard. And every time I walked into my room, for some reason, I had a smile on my face. Oh, it was great. Now, Arizona actually ended up being a real blessing in my life. The years went on and I went on a 2-year service. And I got back from that service and went to school. Many moons passed. And as I was going to school, I thought perhaps it's time for me to get married. And so I found myself a lovely wife. And my wife trusted me to find our first place to live. Now, being the poor, starving student that I was, I actually found a place that was right for the budget. And it was actually a nice location next to the university up in Logan. And so anyway, after our honeymoon, I drove my wife to our first place. And she looked at the place and she was a little skeptical. And so anyway, it was our very first night in our brand new little, what we refer to as our lovely corkboard hole-in-the-wall apartment. Yes, it had a lovely corkboard that smelled like corkboard, and it was pretty awful, but it was our place. And so anyway, the very first night, well, the rains came down. The rains came down and the floods came up. Oh yes, in fact, we had a couple of lovely water features in our new apartment. One water feature was dripping down from the light fixtures. Another water feature was a virtual waterfall in our closet, dumping all the water onto our clothing. And then the waterfalls in my wife's eyes started happening. And I thought for sure my wife was a goner. I thought she was like, no. And I thought she was gone for good. But we stuck it out. We hung on and stuck it out, and we actually really ended up loving our little corkboard hole in the wall in Logan, Utah. Well, the years passed on, many moons took place, and eventually, it was time for us to purchase a home of our own. Oh, happy day. I was so dang excited to be in our first home. I was so proud. And so anyway, we had enough room to actually get into things that had been in storage for a while that our little hole in the wall could not have. And so we pulled out all our stuff from storage. And once again, another item boosted my spirit. Oh, you know what it is. The shark. Oh, and it was as beautiful as ever. Oh my goodness. So in the excitement, I snatched that shark out of the storage unit, and I took it to our new place. And I went into our master bedroom and I started hanging it against the wall or above our headboard. And my wife walks in and she says, "What are you doing?" And I said, "I'm hanging the shark above our headboard, of course. It's beautiful. It's hideous." And I about left her that day, but we stuck it out. And I found a lovely place in the man cave, the garage, for the shark. And I put it up on the wall. Well, the years passed by, many moons. And we started popping out the water, the children started popping, and the children started sprouting up a little bit. And I go to my wife and I say, "You know, our boys need a dog." And so we decided that we would get a dog for the family that we lovingly referred to as Bobby Dog. I don't know why we named it Bobby Dog. I wanted to name it cool, something cool like Captain or something. But no, it ended up being Bobby. That's the name that our kids came up with. And so good old Bobby Dog. But Bobby was young. When Bobby got to about the terrible twos, Bobby jumped up and knocked down the taxidermied fish and ate the entire thing. Now, Bobby just about lost his life that day, but Bobby actually lived to be 16 long years old. 16 long years old, which for a bigger dog is quite a few years. Now, Bobby and the taxidermied fish are 4 feet under in our backyard. But that is okay. I no longer need to have that shark as a memory, for it is ingrained in my brain. And every time I bite in to York peppermint patty, I am taken back to that place. I would like all of you to enjoy the magic of a York peppermint patty. And so to do this is a little bit different than I usually do in my classes, since you're not here to pass them out. I'm going to be here on Monday from 9 o'clock to 12 o'clock. I will make sure that I have everything properly sanitized, and I will be there in a mask, and I will social distance with everybody. I would like all of you to be able to release the magic of a York peppermint patty. I will have enough York peppermint patties for you and everyone in your family. So please come and grab a York peppermint patty. And if any of you need to talk about grades or anything like that, I will be there to do so. I hope you enjoyed the story time. I hope you enjoy your fabulous summer. I hope to see you on Monday. Thank you.